sharing. This is my life story. This is my life story. The day I changed my bank account, the day I changed my circle, my bank account went up and up and up. It's so crazy how it's linked. And that's why they say your net worth equals your net worth. I just want to repeat that. Your net worth equals your net worth. Many people want to change their net worth without changing their network. It can't be done. It works hand in hand. Next one, Gerard. The quicker you elevate your circle to people who are actually financially free, that's the day you become financially independent. So we can pause here. So I was so yeah blessed when Real Summits quoted me on Instagram, where I said wealth needs to be created and not protected, because that's the lie we've been sold. The little wealth that I have, let me protect it. No, the wealthy, they create their wealth to make more wealth. And if you guys are on Instagram, you can follow me at Rich Life Bali. Um, Real Someone's quoted me there that wealth needs to be created and not protected. And this is why you're on this masterclass today, to learn about wealth creation. If people speak about wealth protection, you run away. That's a broke mindset. You don't want to protect the little that you have. You want to create. Next one. You want to create. Wealth is meant to be created. So the two is wealth mistakes people make. Guys, you want to write this down. Number one, they want to protect their wealth. Wealth is never meant to be protected. Number two, they want to chase wealth. And like I started this masterclass, when Jeff Bezos asked Warren Buffett, why doesn't more people copy you? Because your strategies are so simple. And he says, nobody wants to get rich slowly. People chase wealth and they wonder why they never have wealth. Next one, please. Because we don't chase wealth, we build wealth. We build wealth. And I'm challenging a lot of people this year that let 22, the year 22, let it be the year that you stop chasing wealth and you start building wealth. Next one, please. So that aren't you tired of chasing the next get rich quick scheme, the next gimmick, the next scam? Aren't you tired of chasing money? And wealth people know it's not about chasing wealth, it's about building wealth. So if you guys want to take a screenshot of the screen, say, Richard, this is my declaration for this year. In 2022, I'll stop chasing passive income and I'll start building passive wealth. Tag Real Success Net, tag Rich Life Bali. Let us know that this is your declaration. You might be asking, Richard, what is the difference between passive income and passive wealth? A simple example is the person that owns property. You don't have to tell that person, look at the rental income you can earn. No, they know that. They are researching the property. They're researching the house. They're researching the building. They're looking at the cracks. They're looking at the electric grid. They're looking at the area. Is it safe? Is it convenient? What are they doing? They're researching the passive wealth. If you research the passive wealth, passive income takes care of itself. People lose money because they chase passive income. They don't build passive wealth. Next one, please. And that's what we are meeting here today, to build passive wealth. So, for those of you that were at the summit this past weekend, please, bear with us. We have 50% of people in the room that's never heard my story, and I need to give them the dirt. I need to give them the dirt because I wasn't born rich. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I was born in Athlone, Cape Town, South Africa. And just to give you a background story of myself, I went to Stellenbosch University in South Africa. I received a degree in investments and finance. And the very first year was after college, I received a job as a graduate, a junior, a junior investment analyst. But my first paycheck I received, I blew it because I wasn't used to money. My first paycheck I received, I spent it because I thought I'm a rich man. My first paycheck, I thought I was a rich man. And not just my first paycheck. After the first year, I was just blowing through money. Second year, blowing through money. And after 2 years, I found myself deep in debt. I was just living a vida loca. I didn't know what happened. I was just too young. I was never taught about money. I never came from money. So I was completely financially illiterate. Completely financially illiterate. And that's why I tell people, many people, They don't have a money problem, they have a mindset problem. They don't have a money problem, they have a habit problem. They don't have a mindset problem, they have a friendship circle problem. And we can go on and on and on, but it's not a money problem. I had money, but I was broke and in debt because I didn't know what I was doing. And people and I was more than 100,000 US dollars in debt. Many people ask me, how did that happen in 2 years? I said, I don't know, just bad spending, bad bad friends. I was always that guy that was buying the rounds, paying the tabs, paying the bills for everyone. And then I mean, tell people it was bad lifestyle. And that was the truth on the service level. But on the deeper level, I never felt like I belonged because I was new in this investment space. And I tried to compete with the 40-year-olds and the 50-year-olds, and they had old money. I had new money. And new money cannot compete with old money. New money plus time equals old money. And I was trying to compete with them to show them, hey, look at me. I belong. Do you see me? And meanwhile, they weren't even worried about me. I mean, everyone has their own stuff. They weren't even looking at me. So it actually wasn't for them, it was for me. And then I realized, oh my word, nothing on the outside can fix an internal problem, an internal void. And then I realized, no matter where I am, I belong. No matter where I am, I belong. And I began to pull back from being on the party scene, paying for bills and drinks. I began to pull back and I lost all of my friends. I lost all of my friends. And but that was a good thing. They were part of the problem. And I went on a journey. I went on a journey to hack my mindset because I never had a money problem. I had a mindset problem. I went on a journey to hack my habits because I never had a money problem. I had a habit problem. Poor people are poor because of poor habits. Wealthy people are wealthy because of wealthy habits. But I had to hack them both because many people they just read books about mindset and they never take action. Many people they do stuff but they never read and learn. We have to do them both. They're like the left foot and the right foot. The left foot and the right foot. I had to hack my mindset and hack my habits. And after 12 months, I wiped out all of my debt. And then people they tell me, wow, you cleared 100K 12 months. That's such a short time. Maybe, but it was the longest year of my life. It was the loneliest year of my life. I lost all of my friends. But in that year, I met my wife. Hello. And and the friends I have today, I met in that year when I was rock bottom. So it was worth it. It was worth it. It was worth it. But I have to tell people that um, if you do what others won't do, you will have what others can't have. I live the rest of my life now debt free because I did what others won't do, that others won't sacrifice. Others won't sacrifice in the short term. And that's the thing. You just have to sacrifice in the short term for long term benefits. But then something crazy happened. I was riding home from work one day and I saw this beggar at the robot at the traffic light. And the thought hit me that this beggar is also debt free. Hear me now, hear me now. Up until that moment, I thought I made it. I'm the man. I wiped out all my debts. Can't touch this. I'm debt free. But so was the beggar at the traffic light. He was also debt free. Then I realized there's another level. There's debt freedom and then there's financial freedom. So I went researching again, what is financial freedom? Because many people want to be financially free, but they don't know what it means. Basically, financial freedom is when you have enough assets to sustain your lifestyle that you no longer have to work. When you work, it's because you want to work or you love to work, but you don't need to work because you have assets that sustain your lifestyle. You're free. You're financially free. So I went researching, okay, what are these assets I need to get into? And I researched all the asset class. I looked at the ROIs. Like I spoke about at the summit, the number one term for investors is ROI, return on investment. And I looked at real estate. I looked at bonds. I looked at um, um, index funds. I looked at ETFs. And the number one asset class over the past 4 decades was equities, listed stocks on the stock market. I began to pump my money each month there. And after 3.5 years, my returns of my paycheck, my returns of my stock portfolio matched my paycheck, and I quit my job. I was living off my shares at the age of 24. technically retired, 24 years old. Next one, please. Gerard. And so the stuff I share here, it's just my life story. And I'll never forget that day because that's when my asset income replaced my active income. You see, many people don't know the difference between asset income and active income. There's a great story of, I don't know if you guys read the book, The Richest Man in Babylon, a great story of a village that needed water. And people used to run from the village into the well with buckets of water. It's up and down from the village into the well, from the village into the well. And one guy saw this and he's like, there must be a better way because people were running up and down with buckets and they were wasting water, spilling water. They were exhausting themselves out. And this guy thought there must be a better way. And he stepped back. And for 1 year, he invested in building a pipeline that went straight from the village into the well. That man became the richest man in the village because his water was the cleanest and his pipeline was working without him. His pipeline was working while he was asleep. And as Warren says, if you don't find a way to make money while you asleep, you're going to have to work until you're dead. And that pipeline was his asset income. What's my point? There's many people that work the 9 to 5. There's many people that have their own business, but they're stuck exchanging time for money, time for money. They're stuck in the time trap. There's only one way to get you out, and that's through assets, asset income. And the day my returns of my stock portfolio matched my paycheck, I replaced myself. And I'll never forget that day. That's why you can't sell me life insurance. I have assets. You can't sell me wealth protection because my assets are wealth creation. So I tell people, we got to teach the next generation of young kids about asset income and not just active income. Next one, please. That was 2013. I'm 33 now. Excuse me, this juice is very powerful stuff. This is marking my 9th year of financial freedom. I joke with people, I say we need to have a 10-year party next year. You guys need to come to Bali. I lived in Bali for this past 2 years. Best experience of my life. We're going to have a financial freedom party. Who's in? Let me know. Just write hashtag party. We're going to have a financial freedom party. Next one, please. So I never became financial freedom once. I managed to sustain it for 9 years. Now I feel I'm in the right phase now to teach and share. That was my story. What is the story that you telling yourself? Is it Richard? No, no, no. Now's not the right time. It's COVID-19. It's a crisis. You know what? The rich get richer in a recession because they have this mantra. Every crisis is an opportunity. Every crisis is an opportunity. So when the poor sees a crisis, they think doom and gloom. They think Armageddon. They think the world's going to end. No, the rich sees a pattern. Like, wait a minute, I've seen this in the 2008 financial meltdown, and the markets bounce back. This is what I wrote for in Forbes magazine. Markets always bounce back. And when the rich sees the 2000, dot-com bubble burst, like, wait a minute, the markets always bounce back. You can track the data all the way back to the Great Depression in the 1930s. Markets always bounce back. And that's why the rich get richer in a crisis because they pick up those rundown houses, those rundown businesses, those rundown stocks. And when that market turns, they sell it at a massive profit. And the market always turns, guys. It's a cycle. It's a cycle. So you cannot look at a crisis as the end of the world. You've got to look at a crisis as an opportunity. And then like, okay, Richard, but there's so much opportunity there. Which is the right one? So we call this paralysis by analysis. People think themselves out of taking action. And that's a problem because life rewards people of action. Don't use so much opportunity as an excuse to do nothing. Just do something. At least you tried. At least you moved the needle. At least there's progress. Because life rewards people of action. And then they say, oh, Richard, the market is so risky. I joke with people and say, what do you do for a living? And then they say, I'm an accountant, I'm a programmer, I'm a lawyer. Okay, so you telling me you have one source of revenue. You telling me that you are 100% reliant on your job, on your boss, on your business. You have one source of revenue. That is high risk. That is living dangerously. You need at least 4 revenue streams, one for every season. I just want to repeat that. You need at least 4 revenue streams, one for every season. Then they say, oh, Richard, but I'm not a numbers person. You know what Warren Buffett says? That stock investing is only, 20% about the numbers. It's 80% emotion. If you can master two of emotions, master your fear, master your greed, master fear, master greed, you make a lot of money on the stock market. It's all about, like I said, patience, patience, patience. We call it playing the LG, playing the long-term game. We're not trying to make money overnight. We're tired of the get-rich-quick schemes, fads out there with the get-rich, all these marketing gimmicks, all these marketing fads. No, no, no. We're tired of chasing passive income. We want to build passive wealth. And that requires patience. And I know it's easier said than done, but it must be cultivated in us. When I say money's bad, guys, I've helped so much people change their relationship with money because they think, is money bad? Money's not bad or good. It's the heart of the person behind the money. Yes, you can do a lot of bad things with money, but you can also, do a lot of good things with money. We call it philanthropy, where you use your wealth for good. That's why I tell people, don't attack the top 1%. Don't attack them. In fact, learn from them. In fact, join them, become them. You're like, no, no, why? Because the more blessed you are, the more you can be the blessing. If I'm broke, I can't help anyone. The more blessed I am, the more I can be the blessing. So I want you to join the top 1%, and you'll be one of the good ones. You will use your wealth as an agent for change, as an agent for social good. That's why I tell people, money doesn't change you. Money reveals you. Money is the great amplifier. If you make your first million and you help 1 million people, it reveals your heart. If you make your first million and you blow it, it reveals your heart. Money doesn't change you. Money reveals you. Money is like a tool. It's like a hammer. With this hammer, you can either build a children's home or build a brothel. Same hammer, same tool. It's not about the money, it's about the heart of the person behind the money. Guys, if you got this, just right, hashtag unblocked. Richard, you've unblocked me because now you open yourself up to receive money. Many people wondering why they're broke. It's because they have this belief that money is the root of all evil. And that belief is blocking them. Because it's not money that's the root of all evil, it's the love of money. I don't love my money. No matter how much money my stocks make me, I don't love my stocks because it can't love me back. I don't love this laptop. This laptop can't hold me at night. It's just a tool. Just a tool to create more money. Remember, we're wealth creators. Awesome, awesome. I love seeing all the hashtags coming through here. Next one, please. Because the same way you feed off my energy, I feed off your energy. Next one, please. So here's what we're going to cover. My 3 secrets to financial freedom at 24. And guys, I studied the Forbes list because I believe success leaves clues. And I found secrets and strategies that the wealthy have been using to multiply their wealth for decades and centuries. Secrets that were never taught in schools or the top colleges. And I'm about to bust it wide open here. We have to get to it here before someone comes in here to stop us. But we're going to bust it wide open here. Next one, please. Secret number 1. Are you guys ready for this? Secret number 1. Next one, please. The wealthy do not save. The wealthy do not save. You know, it's so funny when the government wants to lift the prosperity of the people, to lift the savings rate. That's not how you make people prosperous. One of my friends said, Richard, I want you on my radio show. And I said, sure. What would you like me to share about? And he said, share about this. Next one, please. He said, do saving suck? And I went on radio and I spoke for 2 hours. Our saving account sucks. I don't have 2 hours now, but 2 reasons why I'm against saving. Next one, please. 2 reasons why I'm against saving. Number 1, it doesn't beat inflation. Number 2, it's not an asset. So when the government releases the CPI inflation rate at 2% or 3%, I know in the States it just hit a record 7%. That is not even the real truth. because the basket that they're using to measure inflation is so outdated. We don't use many of those goods and services anymore. We use Apple, Uber, Netflix with a much higher inflation rate. So many people are freaking out over the 7% inflation rate. I'm telling them the real inflation is actually much higher than that. You need to know your own personal inflation. And you know, what did you spend last year on gas, on food, on your light bill, on your fuel? What did you spend? It was more than 7%. Real inflation is the is anywhere north of 12% to 15%. What's my point? If your savings account isn't beating real inflation, you're not building real wealth. And that's what it's about. It's about real return. We're on a real success masterclass here. Let's get real. There's no point in investing in a savings account that gives you 5% per annum when your inflation is 12% or 15%. You're actually losing, I mean 10%. And it's so sad. People save for 10 years, for 50 years. By the time that money pays out, they 60 cents back on the dollar. Not even growth. The actual capital is depleting. That's what the number one thief of money is inflation. And as long as they're printing money, inflation won't stop. And I haven't found a savings account in the world that beats real inflation. I haven't. That's why I'm against saving. That's why wealthy people don't save because it doesn't beat inflation. You'll never hear a wealthy person say, "Oh, I just made my fortune through this fixed deposit account or through this CD account or through this notice account." It doesn't happen. Wealthy people don't save. It doesn't beat inflation. The second reason is it's not an asset. So, what's an asset? An asset is anything that adds money into your pocket. A liability is anything that takes money out of your pocket. But let's go deeper. An asset is anything that appreciates in value, right? So, like when you buy, let's say, an expensive car or expensive clothing, that's not an asset because it depreciates in value every year. When you buy um, not just the expensive clothing, you buy the Levi stock, you buy the Nike stock, that appreciates in value. So it's an asset. Now, because a savings account doesn't beat inflation, it's not appreciating in value. If it's not appreciating in value, it's not an asset. If it's not an asset, you have a problem because this is the core definition of wealth: accumulation of assets over time. You guys don't want to miss this because this is where I went wrong. When I was out of college and I got my first paycheck, I blew it. Why? Because I thought that wealth has been flashy, that wealth is been a show off, that wealth is status. That's a broke mindset. Wealth is not those things. Those things were all depreciating in value. Wealth is nothing but accumulation of assets over time. And the wealthy people, they are against the saving because it's not an asset. Because how do you measure net worth? By the value of your asset. That's how they measure the wealthiest people on Forbes list, by the value of the assets. So that's two reasons why I'm against saving. It doesn't beat inflation and it's not an asset. Next slide, please. So, guys, I want to read you something. I want to read you something. You can save $3 on your coffees for 60,000 years. It still won't make you financially free. If you're looking for the guy that says, "Oh, just cut back on your cappuccinos every day, I'm gonna cut back on your magazines every day," you'll be fine. I'm not that guy because you will never build financial freedom like that. Why? Because the same way you're cutting back on your coffees, inflation is running away with you. You cannot save your way into wealth because of inflation. You can save for 60,000 years. It still won't help. And don't get me wrong, saving is better than spending, but saving won't lead you to financial freedom because of those, two reasons I pointed out. It doesn't beat inflation and it's not an asset. Next slide, please. So I want to ask you guys a question. Do you think I would have retired at the age of 24 by saving? Yes or no? What do you think? Let me know in the comment section. Do you think I would retired at that young age through a savings account? Yes or no? Next slide, please. Hell no. Hell no. There's no way a savings account I can set you financially free. All a savings account does is make the banks richer. You just making the banks richer. That's all it does. Next slide, please. So this is a funny picture with Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. Saving is when you put money to rest. If you save your money, rest in peace. Your money's gonna die. Investing is when you put your money to work. When you put your money to work, and that's a secret there, guys. The wealthy have one rule: they don't work for money. And we wonder why 90% of the world is not wealthy and not financially free. Because they went through a schooling system that's factory-based education of how to become a factory worker and how to make the top 1% richer, how to build their asset base. But when you're an investor, you flip the script. So it was not just about the stock, it's about what the stock represents. One share, one voting right. That share's in your name. You can pass down to your kids, and your grandkids. That's what I spoke about at the summit. It's all about building generational wealth. It's not trying to make overnight riches. No, we're trying to build wealth for the next decade, the next generation after generation. Your stocks is in your name, in your will. You can pass it down. Next slide, please. You've got to put your money to work. Secret number 2. Next slide, please. The wealthy do not trade. Do not trade. Next slide, please. So I'm against trading. I'm against trading for 2 reasons. So I want to know from you guys, who watched the Wolf of Wall Street? People like, what's the difference between an investor and a trader? If you watch Wolf of Wall Street with Leonardo DiCaprio, an older one with Michael Douglas, they are traders. When to buy, when to sell. And they are the ones that are messing up the gold price, messing up the stock market, messing up the oil price because they are acting like wild cowboys. I mean, there's a thing known as when you short a stock. So that means if you short a share, right, that share goes down, you get rewarded. Because what's known as a put option. You short the share. But where can you be rewarded when the stock price goes down? That goes against the fundamentals of a stock market. Why was the stock market built originally? For businesses to raise capital. And people would buy stocks of the company because inside they believed in the growth of the company. Inside they believed the stock price would go up, not go down. And it's so sad because with the 2008 crisis, people blamed it on the guys that couldn't pay their rent. They couldn't pay their mortgage. They default on their mortgage, and that caused the crisis. No, that's a lie. What caused the crisis was traders. Traders on Wall Street. They caused the crisis because they were packaging those bad debts of those high-risk clients, and they were trading it on the stock market. They were the cause of the meltdown. There's a funny thing when a journalist asked Warren Buffett, he says, "You're a billionaire. Why do you live in Omaha, Nebraska, in this small town?" He says, "I love this small town because it has little news flow. Little news flow." Because Warren says if you had to follow those loud mouths on Wall Street, follow the traders, you'd have been broke today. But he's not broke. He's worth $110 billion dollars. So what's my point? When a trader buys and sells every day, 5 times a day, an investor buys and holds for 6 months, for 12 months, for 5 years, for 10 years. Investors play the long-term game. As Warren Buffett says, if you buy a stock, ask yourself this. If the stock market should shut down for 10 years, will you be okay? If you can't see yourself holding that stock for 10 years, you're not an investor. And at the end of the day, the people that are wealthy are investors. People that are broke are traders. That's what broke people. How do I know? I studied Forbes list. None of them are there by being a trader. The top 10, top 20, as well, the people, they are investors into assets. And besides, for me to be a trader is a waste of my time. A life behind a laptop is not a life. I buy my stocks at most once a month, and it's in the background, and I sell it Maybe after 6 months, maybe after 12 months, maybe after 3 years, maybe after 5 years, it's in the background making me dividends so that I can do things that I'm more passionate about. That I can tour the world. I can start businesses. I can invest into projects, initiatives. I do my philanthropy because I'm not trading time for money, time for money. Many people buy stocks and then they want to play the market. You defeated the whole aim. The aim is not for you to play the market. The aim is for the market to work for you. Is this making sense? I hope I'm making sense here. And reason number two, for me to be a trader, it's a waste of my money. What do I mean? Whether you make a win or a loss on your trade, you have to pay fees. You have to pay commission fees. So whether when the poor trader is buying and selling every day, making losses, making wins, making losses, making wins, and the platform is pulling commission fees on every single trade, there's no such thing as a free trade. There's no such thing as a free lunch. So the whole system is rigged. The less you trade, the less you pay out in fees. And like business and like investing, the goal is not to make money. The goal is to make profit. And for me to be a trader, to buy and sell stocks 5 times a day, it's unprofitable. It's a waste of my money. It's a waste of my time. And if you get real on this Real Summits Masterclass, at the end of the day, we just have two things: where we spend our time, where we spend our money. That will determine where you will be 12 months from now. Where you spend your time, where you spend your money. I want to throw in a third thing: who you spend your time with. We call it the power of association. Where do you spend your money? Where do you spend your time? And who do you spend your time with? Many people will be at the same place next year and they will blame the economy, blame the government, blame their friends, blame their families, blame whoever they want to. At the end of the day, we had thousands of registrations for this webinar. Yeah, we have a huge attendance here, but so much are not here who registered. Where are they? Then they'll be like, no, Richard, I couldn't come because of my family. I couldn't come because of my kids. No, you come for your kids. You come for your family. That's why I want to salute you guys that are on this masterclass. Well done. Because you not only registered, you showed up. A lot of you guys met me at the summit and you came back for more. Why? Because learning, it's a journey. It's a lifelong journey. Next slide, please. So I don't trade because it's a waste of my time. It's a waste of my money. And I like to put the statement out there because it's the truth. Hustle culture is the pro culture. And if you look on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Reddit, it's all there. Hustling, hustling, hustling. Tell me, guys, the top 1% has you fool to hustle for them. And obviously, I understand if you need to hustle to put food on the table and stuff. I get that. No judgment. It's all I'm saying is have a time period. Be like, Richard, you know what? After 5 years, I'm going to stop hustling. After 10 years, I'm going to stop hustling. I want to build asset income and not just rely on active income. I want to get out of the time trap, exchanging time for money, time for money. I want to stop the bucket mentality. I want to build pipelines. I want to stop being a hustler. I know it sounds cool to say. One of my friends is like, Richard, I only had 4 hours of sleep. I'm like, you know what? You need sleep. You're stunting your brain. You're stunting your health. You need sleep. And besides, it's not about how little sleep you had. It's what did you do when you were awake? Is are you productive or are you busy? And there's so much people that are busy being broke. Wealthy people have a lot of time. So you want to flip the script and be like, oh, Richard, after 5 years, I'm going to step out of this hustle game. I'm going to stop making the top 1% rich. I'm going to stop it's hustling for them. I'm going to build my pipelines. I'm going to build that passive wealth. And I'm going to stop exchanging time for money. Time for money. Next slide, please. It's not about time in the market. It's about spending time in the market. Guys, you want to write this down. It sounds so similar, but there's $1 million difference. If you time the market, when to get in, when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, you lose $1 million. You get in the market, you spend time in the market, you stay in the market, you make $1 million. You see, many people when they message me and stuff, Richard, now is the right time to get in. Richard, is now the right time to get out. Richard, what must I do? Must I sell? Must I buy? That is distracting you from the one thing you're supposed to do. The one thing you're supposed to do is research the business. That's what Warren says. The stock market is just a collection of businesses. Research the business. When's the best time to get in the market? Yesterday. If not yesterday, I mean today. The market rewards time. Warren Buffett is the most successful investor of our time, in fact, of any time, because he's been on the market the longest. He turns 92 this year. The market rewards time. Next slide, please. The market rewards time. So, what do you guys think? Would I have retired at the age of I'm at 24 by being a trader, acting like a mad cowboy, buying and selling every hour of the day, being glued to my laptop, paying all the commission to these platforms, to this brokerage? Would I have retired at 24? Yes or no? Next slide. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. Like, like Warren says, if he had to follow those Wall Street traders, he'd be broke today. The key to building wealth is not to trade in the short term looking for speculation. It's to do your research and build that passive wealth. And over time, the market will reward you and work for you. Next slide, please. Who here wants a secret approach? So I know we have a mixed bag of people in the room. We have people that have never bought a stock. We have people that have stocks. So where are all my pro tips? Where are all my pro investors in the room? Next slide, please. There's no ETF or index fund that will get you to financial freedom. So for those of you who don't know, the ETF means exchange traded funds. That's just a fancy word for a cluster of funds in the same industry. So let's take all the tech stocks. So we take Apple, Microsoft, Alphabet, which is Google. We put them all together. We put them in a tech ETF. We do the same with banks. Put them all together. Banking ETF. We do the same with your commodity stocks, your resource stocks. Put them all together. Have a resource ETF. The problem with that is some of these ETFs are huge. They have more than 100 stocks in them. Some of them have 500 stocks in them, like the S&P index. His S&P, 500 index has 500 stocks in them. 500 stocks in them. So let's say Apple pops by 5% in one day. You won't even receive that growth of Apple because Apple is one of your 500 companies. Next slide, please. You are over diversified. So you don't want to have a portfolio of one or two stocks. You want to diversify, but you don't want to over diversify. So I tell people a general rule of thumb for me is at all times I have 10 to 20 maximum stocks in my portfolio. 20 maximum. And that's what Warren Buffett said. People that do wide diversification is because they don't know what they're doing. The name of the game is concentration. Have a concentrated, high-performing portfolio. Many people, they track the S&P 500, they track the FTSE 100, and they're wondering why they're beating the market. If you track in the market, you can't beat the market. Warren Buffett's the number one investor in the world because he doesn't follow the herd. He leads the herd. So you want to start off as you diversify as a beginner investment strategy. Then you want to go to become an advanced investor and have a concentrated portfolio of 10 to 20 stocks. So you guys with me? Next slide, please. You want to diversify, but don't over diversify. That's why I don't do ETFs. I go directly into the stocks. Secret number 3. Next slide, please. Wealthy people do not have jobs. Next slide, please. You know what job stands for? Just over broke. Next slide, please. Just over broke. So if you have a job, no judgment. I had a job for 3.5 years, but just know that you don't want to live your whole life just over broke, just over broke, just over broke. Next slide, please. There's a cool picture of Oprah and Warren and Bill Gates on the rich list, the top 400 people in the world. And next slide, please. There's a thing known as the casino secret. Who here knows the casino secret? Basically, the casino secret is the house always wins. The house always wins. Next slide, please. The house always wins. What do I mean by house? I don't mean your residential house. People, please, you don't become financially free with your residential house. If you're living in a house, it's not an asset, it's a liability, it's an expense. Unless you move out of your house and you have tenants in your house, Airbnb, then they're paying you a cash flow positive. Now it's an asset. But if you're living in the house, it's not an asset. Many people say, yes, but when I sell the house, I'm going to make a profit. Yeah, but what's that inflation rate when you sell that house? What's the real buying value of the dollars when you sell the house? I forgot to mention this earlier, but you know that the US dollar lost 50% of its value since 1990. That's 3 decades. My age. In 50 years, the US dollar has halved in value. And it's not just the US dollar, it's all major currencies. It's halved in value. And the only way you protect yourself from inflation is to own the house. What do I mean? Own the asset. Because the way casinos work is people, I mean, I gamble there. It's every day. Some win, some lose, some win, some lose. No matter what, the casinos make money. No matter what, the casinos build bigger casinos, bigger resorts, bigger properties. Why? The house always wins. If you want to win, you got to own the house. But what do I mean by house? You got to own the asset. He that owns the house always wins. He that works for the house always loses. Next slide, please. And like I promised at this masterclass, I'll be revealing there's only 4 real assets. Guys, there's a lot of marketing trash out there, marketing garbage out there, promising get rich quick schemes, promising this, promising that. There's only 4 real assets. Are you guys ready for this? I know you've been taking these notes the whole time. Don't miss this. Next slide, please. Stocks and commodities, property, businesses you own, not working, and you. I love that we have this masterclass. I have time to go deep. They gave me 45 minutes at the summit. I said, I need more time. They have invited me back for full 2 hours. Let's go deep. When we talk about stocks, it refers to paper assets. I'm speaking about commodities. I'm speaking about your hard gold, your yellow metal, your silver, your platinum, your iron ore. That's commodities. That's your hard assets. So I own gold as well. I mean, you got to own gold when you're South African. So I own paper stocks, paper assets, and I own commodities, which is your it's hard assets, and they are actually a perfect hedge. And yeah, don't worry, I'm explaining my hedging strategy, what I mean by that later in this masterclass. Number 2, property, but important, not residential property. You don't make money through your house that you're living in. You make money through investment properties, not residential property, investment properties. And I like commercial properties. And the way that I get into commercial properties is I don't know if two of you guys are familiar with REITs, REITs. It stands for Real Estate Investment Trust. And that's a pool of quality commercial shopping malls, commercial office blocks, and you can actually buy a REIT on the stock market. So it's listed. So the same way that you have a banking sector, a tech sector, you have a property sector, and you can invest into REIT. I make so much money through REIT. Then you have exposure into the property market as well. And the third asset class is businesses. So we call that private equity. So any business that's not publicly traded on the stock market is private equities, joint ventures, but important businesses that you own. If you're self-employed, that is not an asset. You're just a slave to that business. Many people are like, oh, I resigned. Now I have my own business, but you're like a one-man show. You went from one job to 5 jobs. You do admin, you do sales, you do marketing, you do the books, you do the HR, you do everything. And that's why you're not financially free, because you built your business in a way that you're a slave to it. You got to build your business in a way that it's an asset and make money for you. And the way you do that is building it on systems and structures and having a dream team. It's like I tell people, business and wealth is like sports. It's a team game. The goal is not to be the smartest person in the room. That's just ego. The goal is to have the smartest people on your team. Wealth and business, it's a team sport. So you want to have businesses that you own. And then the fourth asset class is you. Warren Buffett says the number one asset you can invest in is yourself. And that's Warren Buffett, the most successful investor of all time. But what does he mean by that? When we look at this list, stocks, properties, businesses, who determines how much to put into all these asset classes? Who determines when to put into all these asset classes? Who determines how to be patient and to play the long term game? I do. The more you invest in yourself, everything else grows. That's why I'm a huge investment in mentorships and coaches and personal growth and personal development, because I know I have unlimited potential in me. I know you have unlimited potential in you. All you need to do is invest in yourself. Like when I spoke about Forbes magazine, I had the vision, but yes, I also had to invest in the vision. Many people, they're wondering why the vision isn't happening because they don't want to invest in it. Your number one asset is you. You know that your future um, earning potential is your biggest asset because it's uncapped. Your ability to earn a future income is uncapped. And so the more I learn, the more I earn. Every month I have a learning goal. If it's public speaking or project management or business management, I'm a learning machine. Why? Because I know the more I learn, the more I earn. I was actually born with a massive speech impediment. I started all the way through primary school and high school, and now I speak for a living. But I learned that. I went to workshops and seminars, and I watched the public speakers. I studied the body languages because we learn through mirror neurons, and I learned public speaking. I'm a learning machine. The more I learn, the more I earn. And that's the four types of assets: stocks and commodities, properties, like I said, investment properties, not residential properties, and I like commercial properties. And then, for instance, that you own. You want to be the funder and not just the founder. You want to find someone that has a lot of energy, that they're on the ground, and you partner with them. And you want to invest in yourself because the more you learn, the more you earn. Next slide, please. Those are the four real types of assets for your four revenue streams, one for every season. Next slide, please. Are you still there, here? Okay. Okay. Who here is ready to make the shift from paycheck to net worth? Let me know. Because we've been programmed to just work for paycheck to paycheck, chase the paycheck, when really that's playing the wrong game. The game of the wealth is not to work for money, but to make money work through you. Money to work for you, which is through assets. So the goal is not to look at what is my takeaway pay, it's after deductions, after tax, it's after expenses. No, stop looking at your takeaway pay. Stop looking at net income. It's about net worth, the net worth of your assets. A wealthy person will never say, "Oh, Richard, I just hope I get a pay rise. I just hope I get a promotion. I just hope I get a bonus. I just hope my boss hands me a promotion." They don't speak like that because they are the bosses. They say, "Richard, how's your stock portfolio looking? How's your property portfolio looking? How is your business portfolio looking? How is your mergers and acquisitions? How's your joint ventures looking?" What do they say? Your asset base, is it growing? So don't have "Oh, I want to earn seven figures this year. I want to earn eight figures this year." No, those people just have seven and eight figures expenses. You can't earn your way to wealth. You invest your way into wealth. Say, "Richard, my goal is to have $1 million net worth next year. 5 years from now, I want to have $5 million next year. Richard, my decade from now, I want to have a net worth of $10 million." That's how the wealthy thinks in terms of net worth. It's not net income. That's for broke people. And you are wealthy. Next slide, please. So let me ask you guys a question. Has your time in this training been well spent? Let me know. Did you get value? We've been going on for it's 1 full hour so far. Did you get value? Let me know in the chat section. Write value, value, value if you got value. Next slide, please. If you got value, you have two options. Option one, you take what I've taught you this year today, take a stab at it yourself, and you try and work on it for yourself. Or option two, what if we personally helped you and coached you and mentored you through the entire process, all the way to the finish line? What if we took an active role in your results and worked with you to achieve this for yourself? Next slide, please. Would you like to make this next 12 months your most wealthiest year on the planet. I genuinely want to know. Do you want to make this next 12 months the most wealthy on the planet? I don't care what happened this previous year.
We seem to have lost Richard for a little bit, so just sit tight as he gets his Wi-Fi sorted, and he will be right back. Okay, I will be the stand-in Richard Harrington for now. Hello, Gail Ham. Hello, Fatima. Richard is just having a little bit of technical issues right now, but he'll be right back. I see a screen popping up. Richard, are you back?
Anything can happen.
There you
Anything can
go.
happen. And like I said, I'm on an island in Zanzibar, so anything can happen. If
Oh no, Rich. We
and it was
lost
about
you.
awesome. Okay, next slide, please. Because I'm a genuine one to know who you want to make this next 12 months the most wealthiest on the planet. Because what happened last year is spilled milk. It's water under the bridge. There's nothing we can do about it. All we can do is look forward. And my focus to make the next 12 months my most wealthy on the planet. Next slide, please. And so I have a inner circle where we have one result. Next slide, please. And everyone in my circle, we have one focus to make this next 12 months almost wealthiest year on the planet. You see, before I used to, when I used to speak before COVID, I had big live events and people used to run up and say, Richard, I want to be financially free. And I said, who's your mentor?
Okay, so Richard has officially left the building. He will be back shortly. Please do not go anywhere. Richard travels extensively, and therefore sometimes he tends to lose signal a little bit when he is out. Richard, are you back?
Remember what I said, we play in the long term, we play in the long game. We got to be patient. We got to be patient.
You look better, Richard, so I'm going to leave you to do your thing.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so next slide, please. So like everyone in my circle, we have one goal to make the next 12 months most wealthy on the planet. So where was I before I got cut off? Oh yeah, I said people used to run up to me and say, Richard, I want to be financially free. Then I said, okay, who's your coach? Who's your mentor? And then they just look at me like the way the dog looks at a moon. What is that? And I mean, if you look at all successful guys, even Warren Buffett had a mentor, Benjamin Graham, that was his first professor at Columbia Business School. There's even Robert Kiyosaki had his mentor, which was his rich dad, which wasn't his dad. Of course, his dad is poor dad, but his rich friend had a dad, his rich dad that mentored him. I mean, even if you look at Olympic athletes, they have coaches. You won't find a serious Olympic athlete that doesn't have a coach. And that's sport. How more important is financial freedom? So when they say I want to be financially free, I'm like, where's your coach? They're like, I don't have a coach. I'm like, you're not serious. You're not serious. So everyone in my circle, I'm your coach. And not only that, you get access to my 12 stock picks for the next 12 months. I specialize in two markets, the US market and the South African market, because I tell people you need exposure into a developed market and an emerging market. Guys, and I can't stress how valuable this is because right now on the New York Stock Exchange, there's more than 2,300 stocks. On the NASDAQ, there's more than 300 stocks. Not all of them are good. Not all of them are quality stocks. What are you investing? You can mirror me. Buy what I buy. Next slide, please. For 12 months, at least. At least. I tell people, give me 1 year, I'll change your life. But needs 1 year at least. You won't always invest in winning shares, and that's okay. A trader has a success rate out of 5 out of 10. So out of the 10 shares a trader buys, 5 are winners, 5 are losers. Next slide, please. My success rate is 8 out of 10 because of two things: hedging and value investing. What is hedging? We saw it in the COVID pandemic. The gold price went up and up and up. We saw it in the 2008 financial crisis. The gold price went up and up and up. Why? Because gold always had its own intrinsic value. The value of gold is not linked to um, a government, an economy, a currency. It has its own intrinsic value. It's been like that for centuries. So whenever I buy a stock, I hedge it with a gold stock. Why? So when markets have a dip, my gold stocks soar. When markets boom, my core stocks soar. What's my point? Up or down, I make money because I'm hedged. And the power of value investing. Next slide, please. Like I said, I'm financially free because I follow Warren Buffett's long-term value investing. Now, I don't want to freak anyone out in the room. This is my first graph I'm showing in this whole masterclass. So it's just simply two lines. There's the black line and the red line. The black line is the market. The market will move up and down. I really don't care because I have a degree in investments where we learn mathematical models on how to work out an intrinsic value of the stock. There's lots of metrics. I can't explain it now. It was a 4-year investment degree, but we look at a whole lot of metrics to get the true value of the stock. So let's use Apple for an example. Let's say, according to my research, Apple is worth $100, just for some simplicity's sake, right? It's worth $100. I look at the market price of Apple. It's trading at 120. I don't buy Apple. And people say, oh, but it's a good business. Yes, it's a good business, but it's a bad investment. Why? Because you're paying too much for it. You're paying 120 for something that's only worth 100. All I do is I wait for a correction. I wait for a recession. I wait for a crisis. And when the Apple share pulls back to $80, I buy it. I don't buy it because the crisis. I buy it because it's undervalued according to my research. Did you guys get it? I don't buy it because of rumors or scandals or time in the market. No, I buy it because it's undervalued according to my research. That's how you build wealth. Whether you're in the stock market like Warren Buffett, whether you're in the property business like Robert Kiyosaki, whether you're in business acquisitions like Mark Zuckerberg, they always buy assets when it's undervalued. Many people buy hype stocks, buy high to sell higher. That's the dumbest thing you can do. Because then you trade in price, you're not investing. What do investors do? We research the asset and we look for value. So actual fact, we never is overpay for stocks. We never pay the market value of stocks. We pay the undervalue of stocks. Next slide, please. And this is what we call a fundamental analysis. When the true value of the stock, which was $100, according to my research, exceeds the stock price of $80, it's a buy. But many people, they flip it. They buy it when it's high, hoping the next person will pay more for it. And that's being a trader. That's speculative. That's not investing. There's what we call a fundamental analysis. A technical analysis is where the trader looks at heads and shoulders and knees and toes, whatever stuff they look at to make up stories in their head. An investor looks at the fundamentals because numbers don't lie. You can't tell an investor, 5 years from now, we're going into China. It's going to be huge. 10 years from now, we're going into India. It's going to be huge. No. Let me see your spreadsheets. Let me see your balance sheets. Are you making money? Are you making a profit? That's what it's about. The true value. Next slide, please. I'm a profile by Intelligent Millionaires Market. Next slide, please. Millionaires Network. And they've said I've built an investment empire. Next slide, please. But I'm not really interested in that. What I'm interested is in what they said. Next slide, please. They said Richard has built an investment empire and has helped countless people take profits without a broker. And that's what I love. That it's not just me making profit, it's a lot of other people making profit also because they're mirroring me using my research. So here's how my inner circle works. 15-page share report every month for 12 months on the shares I am buying for my personal portfolio, saving you time in the research. Next slide, please. Guys, it takes me 5 hours to research one stock. It saves you time in the research. But I love it. I like looking at the secret sauce of this business. And the brand new game changer. Next slide, please. Brand new game changer. I will send you sell signals when I sell out. So you can mirror me with the profits. Usually like 6 to 12 months. I hold it before I sell it, sometimes longer, but you will always receive the sell signals if you're a part of my circle. Tell people, if you buy what I buy, if you sell when I sell, this could be your most wealthiest year on the planet. Next slide, please. And I've done so much research. What's the main difference? Why are some people successful? Why are other people unsuccessful? Next slide, please. One word, guys. Accountability. Next slide, please. Like I've said, you need a coach. Warren Buffett had Benjamin Graham. Robert Kiyosaki had his rich dad. All Olympic athletes have coaches. Next slide, please. I sound like a DJ. Next slide, please. And you can get coached by yours truly. You are the average of the 5 people who spend your most time with. This is a famous quote by the late Jim Rohn. This is not just a quote, this is my life. I was broke because my closest 5 people in my life were broke. The day I changed my circle, my bank account went up and up and up. Why? Right now, you are the average of your closest 5 people's net worth right now. Change your circle. Change your financial well-being. Change your network. Change your network. Next slide, please. And I got Kristen to help me. She's amazing. She's my community happiness manager. Because I don't know, for those of you that weren't on the summit, I'm on a mission. I'm a 10-year mission to empower 1 billion people with the tools to set themselves financially free by 2030. And I'm going to do that alone. So Kristen's a part of my team. Next slide, please. As soon as you're part of my circle, you'll get a dedicated email address and put in the subject line inner circle. You will get priority service because we are there to help you because we know there's a lot of noise and garbage out there. We are there to help you. And Kristen is amazing with that. Next slide, please. So here's what my circle will do for you. Stop worrying and stressing about money. You create a comfortable life for you and your family. Stop living the financial roller coaster. Rich here, broke here, rich here, broke here. Set up an asset base, that pipeline, instead of always relying on active income, which is that buckets mindset. Make this next 12 months your most wealthiest year on the planet. Next slide, please. 3 things you need to be successful. Number 1, mirror me for the next 12 months. Don't reinvent the wheel. I just study the wealthy, and more importantly, I take action. I don't reinvent the wheel. And support, coaching, accountability, and take action. Next slide, please. What is this all worth to you? Next slide, please. If all this did was worry less about money, would it be worth it? If all this did was have a comfortable life for you and your family, would it be worth it? Next slide, please. I think I'm going to have nightmares tonight. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. But yeah, and guys, results are not guaranteed. If you want a guarantee, put your money in the bank where you'll receive around 8% for the whole year. If you want to be wealthy, you must accept risk. In fact, love risk. And like I said, I don't do derivatives. I don't do trading. I invest in long-term, solid, safe businesses. But if people say, there's guarantees in the market, they are lying to you, run away. The market has no guarantees, it has risk. And that's a good thing. When you take out risk, you take out reward. The poor get poorer because they want to avoid risk. The rich get richer because they know how to manage risk. They know how to take calculated risk. They know how to take well-researched risk. And every stock I buy, the 15-page research report you get. Next slide, please. And then we got, I want to share 3 success stories with you. I have thousands, but we don't have time for 3. I think you can roll the clips now, guys. I'm really, really so proud of them. It's so awesome. Should I, Metri, and share them. Let me just try here.
Hi Richard, it's Kylie. I just wanted to send you a short video message to say that having you as my wealth coach for the past 2 months has been fantastic. I've learned so much from you and I can't wait to learn more. You've really given me the motivation that I've needed to take investing seriously and to become my own investment manager. By following your advice, I've already made an amazing 40% return on one of my shares. To achieve a result like that in 2 months is truly incredible. So thank you for all of your guidance and for keeping me on track. And I can't wait to see what comes next. Thanks. Cheers.
Good morning. Francois Boonza here from a rainy and stormy Cape Town. I've been part of Richard Harrington's inner circle for the past 2.5 months following a very insightful webinar that was held during the lockdown. This convinced me to take part in his inner circle, and after receiving the first 3 months share reports on the different companies, I decided on which shares to purchase. Currently, my portfolio, after near 2.5 months, is already in the positive by almost 50%. Just in the recent week and a half, I got sale instructions as well that I made profit of over 60% on 2 individual shares, one on the JSE and one on NASDAQ. I'm very excited for our road forward. I still got another almost 10 months left in the inner circle, and it's exciting times, and I'm learning quite a lot. Thanks.
Richard, fellow investors as well as potential investors. I just want to share with you my journey being in the inner circle of Richard. So I joined the inner circle about almost 3 months ago, and the results has been amazing. I've recently sold 2 shares, one on the JSE and one on the US stocks. And for both shares, I got over a 60% profit. So that's a great return on my investment. Definitely something I would recommend, and it's something I'm definitely going to do for the rest of my life. So please do what Richard says. I've completely applied his methodology and it's worked for me. Thanks guys, keep well. Bye-bye.
Richard, we are back.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that, my
You
brother.
can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. So, guys, I love to share those stories because those are people that don't have a degree in investments. They haven't read 9 books of Warren Buffett, and they don't have 13 years experience. Yeah, I bought my first share after college in 09. And we're 2022 now. I have 13 years experience of buying my stocks without a broker. Oh, there, I'm back. Next slide, please. So if you think you can't do this because you don't have a degree, that's a lie. The truth is anyone can do this if you get the right model that you can just copy and paste. These are what these people done, and they make crazy returns. And again, I must be honest, I must be truthful. Full disclosure, this is not a guarantee. Historical returns is not a guarantee of future performance. But this is what's possible. If you just remain coachable, just remain teachable. But one thing I will say, you will get more than your savings account. You will beat inflation. Next slide, please. So I want you guys to be my next success story. If that's you, just write in the chat section, success. Next slide, please. I want you guys to be next. If you want to be the best, you have to learn from the best. People are broke because they learn from broke people. Wealthy people are wealthy because they learn from each other. Next slide, please. If you want to be the best, you want to learn from the best. So here's what you get. You get your 12-month. I share reports every month. I do the research for you. You use my research. Just buy what I buy. 12 sell signals. When I sell, you sell out. It might take 6 months. It might take 1 year. It might take 2 years, but you will get the sell signal. Just remember, the market rewards time. But you've got to know when to sell, because many people, their fear and greed mirror me. I have 13 years experience, mirror me. You get accountability from me, from Kristen, from our team. You get their private email address. We are there for you to help you. You get 3 bonuses, which I will explain later. It's how to be your own investment manager, how I wiped out my debt, 21-day active financial fitness. I'm at total value 1722 US. There's a special price at the end of this masterclass only for you guys, so you don't want to log off now. Stay here until the end. Next slide, please. Those who pay attention. I want to repeat that. Those who pay attention. People say, Richard, why is this not free? Why must it be free? This is my research. This is my time. This is my love. If I attract freeloaders, it's not a partnership. It's not a partnership. If you pay for something, you're going to open that research report. You're going to buy your stocks. You're going to stick with it month in, month out for 12 months. You're going to want to see a return on your investment because you paid for something. You have equal skill in the game. And that's why it's inner circle. It's not freeloaders. My inner circle is filled with people that invest in themselves. Because the truth is, whether you in my circle or not, I'll still make money in my stocks, in my gold, in my properties, in my business. I'll still make money. This is not for me. It's for you to invest in you. Next slide, please. Those who pay attention, those who pay attention. Get started now. For next slide, please. The value is 1722. And only for Real Success Summits. One-time offer, 997. Guys, this is an absolute bargain. You get to my inner circle. You get me as your mentor for 12 months for 997. Next slide, please. For the entire year. And there's even split payments. Real Success has been generous to put split payments there. That's the link. We've posted it there. This is a one-time crazy offer. You'll never find this at this low price. And I'm gonna actually tell Real Summits that we need to close my circle soon, because for me, it's not about the numbers. It's not about the quantity. It's about the quality. So we will be closing it very soon. If you want in, take action now. Next slide, please. And you get all the bonuses as well. I think there's three crazy bonuses we're throwing in. Next slide, please, guys. Bonus number 1 is how to be your own investment manager. I took the best out of my degree in investments, out of my experience in the investment industry, and I put it in 1 hour of value. Next slide, please. So you get that how to be your own investment manager. That's my flagship training on how to buy your first share, build a share portfolio, and take profits. Next slide, please. And that's how to be your own investment manager. Bonus number 2 is how to become debt-free. I take you step by step how I went on that journey in 12 months to wipe out all my debt. The letters I wrote, the people I called, the budgeting hacks, everything, because I want people to be debt-free. I believe that debt freedom, that debt is just modern day slavery. If you're in debt, are you really free? I want to set people free from debt. You get that. Awesome. Bonus. Next slide, please. And then bonus number 3 is a 21-day hack to financial fitness workbook. And this is very important because that's how you break a habit. 21 days. There's new research now that says it takes up to 66 days to break habits. But this is your guide to financial fitness. If you apply this every day, your own spouse won't even recognize you. Your own mother won't even recognize you. You will be financially fit. You get that as a third bonus. All included for 997. It's really ridiculous. Next slide, please. So I actually bought my first share in the last crisis in 2008. And 3.5 years I became financially free. And right now you have a bigger opportunity. The COVID-19, it's bigger than 2008. And like I said, the mantra of the wealth is every opportunity Because every crisis is an opportunity. So don't let this opportunity slip you by. You have a big opportunity right now in front of you. Next slide, please. So, like the richest man in Babylon, there's just two people. Person number one works for 40 years, they still can't afford to retire. Or person number two, invest into assets, and you could retire in 10 years or less. I did it in 4 years, but you have to invest and not work for the rest of your life. Next slide, please. Which one do you want to be? One or two? And the real question is knowledge power. I've shared my best here. I've shared all my secrets. But the truth is, it's not power, it's potential power. Next slide, please. Applied knowledge. That's power. Now the ball's in your court. What are you going to do about it? Now is your time to take action. Next slide, please. These opportunities can teach you things. With this, you get to mirror me. There's no substitute for experience. This is not a 12-week course or a 6-week course where you just learn things. No, you mirror me. You buy what I buy. You sell when I sell. You mirror me. You get my 13 years of experience. Next slide, please. And that's me at the stock exchange in Johannesburg, South Africa. So I started 3 profitable businesses. My share returns provided all the startup capital I needed. Next slide, please. No bank loans, no family loans. Returns from my stock portfolio. If you didn't sign up yet, it's for 3 reasons. Reason 1, you're waiting to first pay for debt. Guys, there's no way you can beat the inflation on your debt, the cost of your debt. I tell people to do it in parallel. And I explained it in my bonus training, how I became debt-free. Invest a little, pay a little. Invest a little, pay a little. And use your returns from your shares to pay for debt. Reason number 2, you're hoping that if you continue to do the same thing, somehow you'll get different results. That's the definition of insanity. Many people say, Richard, Happy New Year. I'm like, it's not a new year for you. You have old habits, old mindset. It's just a longer last year. Only a new year if you do something new. So you cannot hope for this year to be great. Oh, I hope 2022 will be great. No, you make it great by the actions that you take. Reason number 3, you have excuses. Tell people success is not chance, success is choice. You can either make a million excuses or you can make $1 million. You don't get to make both. I'm like, yeah, Richard, but I'm black. I can't make it in this world. I have 10 black millionaires on my phone. No, Richard, I'm white. I can't make it in this world. I have 10 white millionaires on my phone. No, Richard, I'm a woman. I can't make it in this world. I have 10 female millionaires on my phone. No, Richard, I'm a family guy. I'm broke because of my children. I have 10 family men millionaires on my phone. What's your next excuses? The day you get rid of your excuses is the day you'll become financially free. Next slide, please. 2022 is all about the new challenges, new opportunities. Who's with me? Next slide, please. All about the new, but you've got to take new actions. Don't start 2022 with more excuses. Replace them with results. Like I said, everyone in my circle, we have one result. To make the next 12 months of what's wildest year on the planet. Lastly, I want to share something. In the stock market, we call it a bullish market if the market's increasing in value. We call it a bearish market if it's decreasing in value. Last year, I was in Istanbul in Turkey, and I was walking in the square and I saw this massive bull. And I was like, yeah, universe, message received. Next slide, please. This will be a record year. 2022 is going to be a record year for the stock market. Next slide, please. And if you're in my circle, it means it'll be a record year for you because you're mirroring me. You're buying what I'm buying. I am up in my game in 2022. Are you? Next slide, please. Let's level up, guys. Let's elevate. So here's what you're going to get. 12-month share research report, 12 sell signals, accountability from me and my team. All 3 of those fantastic bonuses. My total value, 1722 US. Next slide, please. And we're doing a crazy one-time offer with Real Summits, 997. And there's a payment plan also. But you want to take action, guys, because all it takes is one opportunity to change your life forever. One opportunity. Next slide, please. Oh, and there's extra, a bonus. We really want to make this a no-brainer. You get in my financial freedom framework, the full workshop. This was a 3-hour workshop event I did in Bali. It was $99.07 per person. You get in it for free because I want to set people financially free. What's the point if I'm successful and not others? Success is not about the individual. Success is about the collective. Use my framework. Set yourself financially free. I explain everything, what I did to get myself out of debt, to build my share portfolio, and eventually after 3.5 years, to resign and quit my job. You get that full 3-hour bonus financial freedom framework. I'm getting excited for you because I know how powerful this workshop was. Next slide, please. You get it for free. And then I don't know if you guys know, but Brian Welch is actually the founder of Real Summit, and you can read there. What he said about me just blew my mind because I have so much respect for Brian Welch. He's built a massive global business, and he said that I'm a guy that walks the talk, and I love that because I went to college and I got lectured by professors about business management, project management, strategic management. They've never started a single business. And that's why they broke. Because business is not concept or theory. Business is practice. I buy stocks every month. I start businesses. I'm into properties. I buy my gold because business is practice. Next slide, please. So thank you so much, Brian, for the testimonial. It means so much to me. So in closing, it's not what it costs you, it's what it makes you. Many people say, what's it going to cost me? That's a broke mindset. The wealth mindset, what's it going to make me? And you've seen the testimonials where hundreds more. Guys, you want to get your money working for you as opposed to you working for it. Next slide, please. And please don't chase wealth. Build wealth for the long term. Because wealth is not something you get. Wealth is something you become. I want to repeat that. Wealth is not something you get. Wealth is something you become. There's people that win the lottos and they go broke. In fact, the guy won the lotto twice and he went broke. Why? He had all that millions, but he had a broke mindset and a broke consciousness, so he couldn't keep the money. You have to become a wealth identity. You have to become the wealth, and then it will reflect. Wealth is not something you get. Wealth is what you become. Next slide, please. And on this 12 months, this will be your journey of becoming this new wealth identity, this new wealth mindset, this new wealth consciousness. And it will show up in your bank account. It will show up in your assets. Why? Because the outer world is just a reflection of the inner world. So wealth is an inside job. Next slide, please. Let me know if you sign up. I want to welcome you to your 12-month journey. It's going to be so exciting. And guys, we are going deep. The gold and the oil is deep. We're going deep. So I get started today, $997. This is a once-off price, and honestly, I don't know of any Forbes investor that is offering this tomorrow them. So this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and we're going to be closing my circle soon because I don't want a lot of people. I want quality is over quantity. Make this 2022 the most wealthiest year on the planet. Next slide, please. I want to thank you guys for the time you've invested here. Thank you and much love. That's me in Bangkok with Ronald McDonald. Thank you and much love. Hope you guys got massive value. And whether you sign up or not, I just wish you all the love, all the joy for 2022. For those of you guys that did sign up, welcome to the most crazy, adventurous year of your life. And we're going to have some serious fun. Guys, are you there? And thank you, Gerard, and thank you, Candice, for changing my slides. I said I'm going to have nightmares tonight. Next slide, please. Next slide, please.
Oh, Richard. I hope that what you do have in your mind is invest, because that's what you teach people to do, right? And Richard, before you go, I'm hoping your internet will be strong for us as we answer a few questions.
Let's do this.
So one question I've seen pop up quite frequently is, once you've got the program, do you need a minimum amount to start investing?
Yeah, look, I tell people never despise small beginnings. Everything big one started small. I mean, if you look at Apple, that began out of Steve Jobs' garage. So if you have $100, start with $100. Don't despise on that. I mean, there's this meme that went around and said, guys, you can even start in your garage. And then millennials like, yeah, but I don't have a garage. Okay, what do you have? Start with what you have, because what we're looking for is momentum here. And you don't want to look at other people and be like, oh no, but Richard he came financially free at 24. I can't. No, there's people that become financially free at 50, at 60, at 70. But you have to put the focus on what you do have. And I tell people, you can start small, but then have a progressive mindset. So if you're going to start with it $100 after month 3, you want to push that to $500 per month. It's after month 6, you want to push that to $1,000 per month. But you want to start. Tell people there's 2 most important words in the English language. Just start. Just start.
I love it. Like Nike, just do it.
I mean, I started with $100. So if I can, you can.
And the truth is, all of us have to start somewhere. The path unveils as you take the first step, right? Richard, this is like a question from someone in the chat, and they're saying, I'm Muslim. I'm a Muslim woman, and there's some stocks I'm prohibited from investing in. Can I still purchase this program?
Yeah, look, I do have a lot of Muslim clients in my inner circle. What I tell them is I can't guarantee that it's all Sharia compliant because I don't know all the time where the companies are getting their profits from. And actually, it's impossible to know every percent where they're getting them from. But as a blanket rule, I don't invest in alcohol companies. I don't invest in gambling companies. I don't invest in tobacco companies. So as a blanket rule, I do invest in companies that I believe in, that are humanity plus, that are sustainable, that are clean. So I can't guarantee that it's compliant, but I try my best to not invest in those companies that I've mentioned. So you can take my research and also, do your own research to double check. But yeah, I have tons of Muslim clients in my circle. That's great.
Amazing. I love that. And Richard, someone else asked, they said they are in Nigeria, and will the app that you use or the systems you use, can it still work in different parts of the world?
Yeah, so the way it works is, as soon as you sign up, you'll get a one-pager from Kristen. She's so awesome. She's like my right-hand woman. You get that one-pager, and then there's like 10 to 15 apps we recommend, but I tell people start with your own bank. Because a lot of the times your own bank has a facility where you can buy offshore stocks. And I mean, we live in the global economy now. So yes, most of the stocks I buy is on the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ, but my clients are from Europe, from Asia, from Africa, from Nigeria, and they are buying US stocks. We all live in a global economy. And I mean, I think Nigeria has some African banks as well. So you'll have an easy link to buying stocks on the JSE. And I've made money on the JSE. I've made money on the New York Stock Exchange. I made money on the Singapore Stock Exchange. The fundamentals of business is the same. You want to research the value, and you don't want to chase hype stocks. I tell people, you can't make money buying the common stocks, buying the Facebooks and the Teslas and the Zoom. You can't make money. You got to do your research. You got to go deep. The gold and the oil is deep. And if you go deep, the fundamentals is the same.
Amazing. Someone else asked, Richard, will I have the skill set after this year to start investing on my own? Should I not continue to do the program?
I love that question. I love that question because the whole goal is to empower you after the 12 months to stand on your own feet and buy your own stocks. So the goal is not so much like your first question was, how much must I start with? It's not so much how much, it's about the consistency. You want to buy your stocks month in, month out, month in, month out. And that's why buying stocks is not a one-time event. After 12 months, you'd have bought that stock, you'd have bought stocks every month, 12 times. So after 12 months, I is hoping that we've instilled that habit in you that buying stocks off your phone is the most natural thing. Like buying airtime, buying electricity, buying whatever, it's the most natural thing. So you can renew after 12 months, but I've told Kristen, if we're seeing that you're not opening your share reports, if you're not buying stock, we won't renew you because we don't want you to pay for something that you're not using. But yeah, you can use my template as a blueprint for your own research after the 12 months. It's all about empowering you to go out there because you just need the model. You need a model that you can copy and paste. That's how the rich get richer.
Oh, love it, Richard. So we've got two final questions. The one is, Richard, I know absolutely nothing about stocks. Nothing. How will your program help empower me? And can I still get into this?
The guys that know nothing are my biggest success stories because they're the most teachable. The challenge I have is with my accountant clients and my lawyer clients. They come in there with so much attitude and arrogance. Obviously, not all accountants, not all lawyers. I'm sharing my experience. And I'm like, okay, but you still have a job. You still have one source of income. You're still exchanging time for money. But if you're coachable, if you're teachable, you're gonna make a lot of money because you're just mirroring me. So you don't need to have the investment degree. You don't need to know it all. You just have to be open to learning something new. And that's what they say, the mind is like a parachute. It only works when it's open. So show up open, show up empty, and we will fill your cup for 12 months.
Oh, absolutely brilliant, Richard. And then the final question we have for you is, someone said, Richard, the stock market is known to be volatile currently. Is it still a good time to be trying to get into stocks?
Remember what you're doing here. You are investing into businesses that are undervalued. So there's more value than what you're paying for it. So like Warren Buffett actually says, he looks at the market price of the stock at the end. He first does the research. So it doesn't actually matter where we are in the cycle. It doesn't matter. That's a huge distraction. We are investing in the business. The stock market could close for 5 years or 10 years. I wouldn't care because I know I bought a quality business. So don't worry about the movement of the stock market. That's for broke people. That's for traders. You buy a quality stock. And no matter what happens, you don't freak out because you know why you bought it. You did your research. You know that even if that stock falls, it will bounce because it's quality. You believe in it and you hold it and you play the long-term game. And that's what we do. So we couldn't care less what the market values the stock. We know the value according to our research. And so we play in the LG. We play in the long-term game. So the best time to get in is yesterday. The second best time is right now. And then just ride the wave.
I love it.
Switch the news off. Switch the news off. News is noise.
Switch off all negativity. People, you know, the news, because friends of yours who also don't know about the stocks are going to try and freak you out, you know, so don't listen to them either. The news and negative friends.
And I want to say, don't listen to popular opinion. I mean, if your taxi driver is in on it, if grandma is in on it, don't do it. You can't make money in popular stuff. You make money in stuff that are undervalued. Because the minute that stock hits the front page, you've missed it. Because there's, too much media attention that's hype that stock price. So you're getting in too high, you're squeezing your profit margins. So if your Uber driver is speaking about it, if grandma's speaking about it, it's too late. If grandma's in on it, it's too late.
Oh, goodness. I absolutely love it, Richard. For everyone at home, the link is realsummits.com/RH. And if you have any assistance that you need that is technical or financial in any matter, please email help@realsuccess.net. Like if you're having payment issues or anything like that, we can help you at help@realsuccess.net. Richard, before I set you free to enjoy your coconuts and your beautiful beach, is there anything you want to leave our community with?
Yeah, I just want to say that don't fear the overwhelm, because many people's like, oh, where do I start? Must I open my share account? Must I research? Must I get a mentor? Where must I start? And they do nothing. All you need is one step. Don't wait for the whole staircase to reveal itself. Just one step. Once you take that one step, the next step will reveal itself and reveal itself. So you have massive potential. Don't let the fear of overwhelm paralyze you. All you need is that baby step. And in my circle, we're all about the baby steps. Once you're in, we got you. We got you. We got you. There's a lot of noise and drama out there. We're not about the drama. We're not about the drama. You're going to buy your stocks and you're going to forget about it. and you're going to turn off the news. You're going to throw the newspaper away. You're going to separate yourself from negativity, because I tell people the less drama you have, the more money you make. So we're going to keep it chill this year. We'll keep it chill one step at a time. I mean, baby steps, and you'll cross every bridge when you get there. So I don't know if I'm speaking to you, but don't let the fear of overwhelm stop you. You have me, you have Kristen, you have our team, and you even have help at realsuccess.net. We got you. We all got you.
We got you. We got you.
So
We are family. We've
Join
got
our family.
Richard Harrington and me. Oh, Richard, thank you so much for soldiering through the internet, through all of it. And thank you for always delivering so much value to our community. And everyone at home, thank you so much for taking this time to invest in yourself. Thank you for committing to your growth, because the more empowered people that there are in the world, I truly believe the better the world will become. So thank you. Thank you for doing your part for humanity. And thank you for entrusting us with your time. It is not something we take lightly. So from myself and Richard Harrington and the whole Real Success family, have a beautiful day, night, evening, wherever you may be. And we are sending you so much love and gratitude. Until next time. Bye-bye.
Much love, guys. Much love, Candace. Cheers.
Bye, Rich.